Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This evening I'm off to see Alan Bennett's brand new play Allelujah at the beautiful Bridge Theatre. Allelujah, Allelujah, Allelujah. Don't even know if that song's in it, but it reminds me of that and I'm very much looking forward to it as it's Alan Bennett's first new play in around 5 years according to the press release and online, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Of course, Alan Bennett wrote History Boys and lots of other really good British plays, so I'm looking forward to it. So let's go to the Bridge Theatre to see Allelujah. Woo! Let's go. Yay! So I'm back at the Bridge Theatre, very much looking forward to seeing Allelujah. Let's go inside. I love this theatre. It's so cute and so beautiful, so I always like to have a little look around before I go to my seat. Inside the beautiful Bridge Theatre. I haven't actually been in the gallery before, but this view is incredible. I've literally got dead centre. I can see the stage fully. The only bit I can't really see is the top of the hospital, but I've kind of panned that so you can see. But wow, this view is literally spectacular. Look. Looking forward to seeing it. I know that Alan Bennett is an incredibly talented playwright, so I don't know what to expect with the show because I've not really read much about it, but that's what I like. I like a surprise, so it should be good. So I've just come out into some fresh air in the interval because that has got my emotions all over the place. It's flipping my stomach. 1 minute you're laughing, the next minute you're kind of crying, and oh my goodness, the ending to Act 1 has left it on such a cliffhanger. I feel physically sick in my stomach. Like, it's so dramatic and the writing is so, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it's paining my heart and flipping my stomach at the same time, but also I want to know what happens next. It's very touch and go in that your emotions are like this at the moment, so my emotions are quite wavy. There's people around me that have cried, there's different reactions in the theatre, but at the moment I'm kind of lost for words because it's so deep. It's very triggering if you're not good with, you know, hospitals and being put in that kind of state of mind, then probably not best for you. But also, it's important to see plays like this because it's talking about issues that everybody kind of comes into contact with. That's aging, you know, hospitals, nursing homes, and also death. So yeah, it's an emotional roller coaster of a play so far. I'm looking forward to finding out what happens in Act 2, what kind of twists are going to happen, but it's very dark and deep. I'm going to say that. Don't expect to be smiling through this. There is comical moments, but it's very dark humour because it's quite intense. So let's go in for Act 2. So I just got back from seeing Allelujah at the Bridge Theatre, and first of all I want to say a huge congratulations and well done to everybody involved in the play. It was absolutely phenomenal. The acting was incredible and so realistic and so real that it genuinely made me feel sick to my stomach. Like, my stomach was flipping throughout. It was tackling so many important issues in hospitals and also in the NHS, and it was just incredibly moving too, and it just makes me, I can't even describe. Obviously it's a written story and it's fictional, but there were many things in there that kind of remind you of society and things that are happening in the world, and it's very important that plays like this are out there and that there's an awareness, you know, that hard times do happen. And it's a very dark play, it's a very emotional play, and also it's a play that tugs on your heartstrings. I'm basically smiling through tears because throughout the whole thing you're laughing one moment, which is lightened by Arlene Phillips's choreography and the dancing in it, but it's also very dark. So when something bad happens, there's then little dances and little singing. They sing like congratulations and things like that, and really old traditional tunes that remind you of grandparents or parents and old times and old memories, and it really does trigger and make you feel really emotional, and you really believe those actors on stage and what is happening. And towards the end of Act 1 it's very dramatic. I'm not giving any spoilers away, but I literally had to cover my eyes. Like, I covered my eyes for a second, then looked, because I couldn't believe it was happening, and it felt so real to me that I was just so close to bursting into tears. Amy next to me actually burst into tears, like she was absolutely sobbing, and I can feel it now. I can feel, oh, literally, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm holding back the tears. I can feel a lump in the throat, but it just makes you realise that we really have to love those around us while they're here. We have to make the most of life. We have to love those around us and who we are around, and we should embrace life as much as possible, because eventually, you know, life does come to an end. I don't know what comes on after. Everybody believes different things, but there were some really, really, really poignant quotes that stuck out to me towards the end of the play, and I'm gonna say them right now because they were just... So the play in general was so intense, but was lifted with lots of humorous moments, which were in the elderly and the older members of the cast, who were absolutely fantastic. It's just the hospital environment that is really believable. Like, the set is so simplistic and plain, like kind of what a hospital would be, you know, very white with the signs, etc, etc. But the way they move the stage as well is literally like a nurse moving a curtain across a hospital bed. So as you can imagine, that side is very real, and for anybody who's ever been to hospital, that can bring back, you know, those kind of memories and what it's like to be in that position. But one minute you're laughing and the next second you're crying, and it's just lifted with humorous moments, but yeah, it's also deeply emotive and dark. The stage, which you can see here, is kind of like a top of the church. It's Bethlehem Hospital, and that from start to finish it takes place in the hospital. We follow different kind of character stories, and also the elderly in the hospital, and again you find out different things about their past. You meet some of their family members. This is kind of obviously fictional and it's very dark, but it does highlight some very real and upsetting issues. So I will say now, obviously you can tell from this video that it's not easy to always sit through. I'm going to say to anyone who's thinking about going, go, because it's well written, but it's deeply emotive and will pull on those heartstrings. Don't expect to be going seeing like a light-hearted comedy, because it's extremely intense but incredible all the same. So here are the quotes that I'm just going to mention, because I feel like they stood out the most towards the end. One elderly gentleman in the show refers to the postponement of death. He says something along the lines of, now I can't remember the full script, but I got a little quote here. It says postponement of death. So no one ever saves a life, they just a postponement of death, right? And that rung quite a lot with me, because I was like, oh my gosh, that's a scary thought. You know, it's quite philosophical and there's so much behind those words, and it really got to me, because I was like, oh my gosh, this man is going through so much right now, and you know, all he can think about is the fact it's a postponement of death. He knows that death is coming, and you know, we know that it's coming one day. And another really, really quite creepy and scary quote is, I make room. And that is throughout the whole thing, is how this nurse makes room. It's just so dark and horrible, and it literally makes my stomach turn. That's how bad it is and how gruesome she is as a character. And she's had bad times herself, but this is just awful. Like towards the end of that one, when you see the show, I don't want to mention what it is because it's so triggering, but yeah, to do that is so inhumane. And we do see things like this in the media sometimes, but it's horrible. And I'm so glad that there are some clever moments in there, which I won't reveal because you have to see it to understand what I'm saying. But there is a little twist and turn at the end of Act 1. So will they get justice? You will find out. Maybe they will, who knows? But anyway, I'm not going to give it away. You have to see it to find out. Another quote as well is talking, this is one from Dr. Valentine. I was lucky enough to meet the gent who played Dr. Valentine, who was played by Sasha D, and he's lovely. He was also in the original History Boys lineup, if you've seen the movie. So he's been with Alan Bennett for quite a few years, so he's done a few plays with Alan Bennett, and the quote that he quoted towards the end was, "Open your arms before it's too late," which really rung true with me and has stuck with me since the very end of the performance, as you can hear in my voice. I mean, saying open your arms before it's too late, you know, realising to live your life and love those around you, no matter what background or where they're from. Doctors are important, nurses are important, so many people are important in our lives that we should embrace and love and be grateful for, and those words most certainly will stick with me. So thank you, Alan Bennett. an incredible, powerful, and also I want to say poignant show. Is that the right word? Poignant? Yes, I think I'm going to say poignant, because it really does stick in your mind, and I don't think I'm ever going to forget that. Like, it's a very memorable play. Yes, it evokes a keen sense of sadness or regret. So there's a lot in there that makes you think very deeply about life, and obviously triggers a lot of emotions and feelings that you may not feel at other shows. Anyway, I'm trying to stop myself from crying because I feel like I'm smiling through tears, because it's, you know, all about life, and there's some very difficult subjects, and I know I'm rambling, I'm talking a lot, but I feel it needs to be heard. An incredible show from start to finish. I also saw Andrew Scott after the show, and it was great to talk to him. I think he enjoyed the show as well. Like, I don't want to say enjoyed, it feels like the wrong word, but in like, it's an incredible play, like, but it covers a lot of life issues that, you know, it's not the kind of thing that you leave happy chappy, but at the same time you're like, wow, like you're stunned, like you're like, whoa, like that acting, the script, it's just, it's very Alan Bennett. It's what you expect from Alan Bennett. It's kind of like happy, sad, all the way through. Happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. And as I mentioned, Arlene Phillips' little bit of choreography is very clever too, lightens the mood a bit, and just overall great production. Set was simple but felt like you were at a hospital. It was just all very real, and a very, very great production overall. So I want to say a huge thank you for the invite to press night. I feel very lucky to have gone and been there, because it was unlike any other kind of show I've seen before as a play. I was sat in the gallery, which was actually a fantastic view. Wherever you are in that theatre, it was wonderful. Really well air conditioned considering how hot it was, which I loved. And overall, just a fantastic production. I had a great time. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to go check out the incredible play that is, oh my goodness, I feel so emotional that I almost forgot it. Allelujah at the Bridge Theatre. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, give it a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.